Justice Kagan talking about whose job is it? She said, well, whose job is it to declare that racial discrimination in voting has ended in America? And that's when the lawyer was saying, well, it's your job. And she said, really? We have these new powers? The Supreme Court can decide when racial discrimination, the other justices were also horrified. Right? There was nobody saying, yes, we do have that power. You know what I mean? So, because that's actually really the crux of the question. You may disagree with Congress, individual Supreme Court justice. I may disagree with Congress. You may disagree with Congress. That's not the question that's before the court. The only question is, did Congress do its job? Was the record that it developed reasonably supportive, rationally supportive of the action that it took, which was to reauthorize Section 5 and that coverage formula? And I'm not suggesting that anything can't happen. I'm just telling you it would be extraordinary. Ryan called it radical. Radical.
No more sleeping in bed. No more.
Morning, in an historic ruling, the Supreme Court struck down Section 4 of the Voting Rights Act, a key provision of the civil rights law that designates which parts of the country must have changes to their voting laws pre-cleared by the federal government or federal court. In a 5-4 decision featuring the usual 5 and the usual 4, the court ruled that Section 4 cannot be enforced until Congress comes up with a new way of determining which states and localities must get permission before they change the way people vote.
Listen to what you have to say.
I honestly think this is a civil rights / equal justice issue, because everybody in the world is watching to see if everybody in America gets equal justice. And that's an important thing to know. The whole world is watching us, and we have to be transparent, and we have to be fair.
When Trayvon Martin was first shot, I said that this could have been my son. Another way of saying that is Trayvon Martin could have been me 35 years ago. And when you think about why, in the African American community at least, there's a lot of pain around what happened here, I think it's important to recognize that the African American community is looking at this issue through a set of experiences and a history that doesn't go away.
Surely things will work out. They do it every time.
The school-to-prison pipeline is the description of how the school system is set up to push you into the prison system.
School's no longer a community. School's no longer a family, a place where we're always welcome.
You walk into school, the first thing you see is a metal detector. The first face that greets you is a school police officer.
All the kids want to do is go to school. They don't want to go to school to be labeled a criminal.
When folks talk about the school-to-prison pipeline, it's real. There's a direct correlation to lack of education, economic opportunity, and also incidences of incarcerations.
We have had kids in the system, hitting somebody with a ruler. We've had kids in the system tussling or fighting in a hallway.
They put me in a cell, took me and handcuffed me to the chair.
I sat in the cell for 11 and a half hours.
I was having an emotional breakdown because I knew in my heart that I didn't really do anything.
I just felt like I was being criminalized.
The world won't get no better if we just let it be. The world won't get no better. We gotta change it, just you.